I was sitting in a lawn chair, cracking open a beer, talking smack about chili dogs without a hint of fear. I gave a little cheek lip, thought I'd make them laugh, but what came out of me nearly split that chair in half. The fart was wet, oh Lord, it squished. Wasn't no whisper, weren't no wish. Had that drizzle, had that heat, felt betrayal in my seat. You can pray. You can sweat, but deep down you know the fart was wet. Checked my drawers in the bathroom stall, looked like I lost a hot sauce brawl. Folks outside said, "You alright, man?" I said, "I ain't sure, give me a fan." Burned my undies in a Walmart sack, lit a candle and ain't looked back. But nightmares come when I lie in bed of that moist little trumpet and what it said. The fart was wet, like a sneeze from the rear. Came with thunder, followed by fear. A bubbly growl from the depths unknown turned proud jeans into a danger zone. It came fast, no time to fret. By God above, the fart was wet. Sit where I once stood. My dog don't sniff like he normally would. I walk with caution, clench with grace, and keep a spare pair just in case the fart was wet. That's my sin. Some stains come with no regret, so I tell my tale with no safety net. Other day I learned the fart was wet.
In the wildlands of South Africa, one critter roams with unmatched confidence. The politician, known for their shiny suits, long speeches, and mysterious ability to disappear when it's time to deliver. They gather in their natural habitat, Parliament, here in Cape Town, where they perform their daily ritual, shouting at each other while absolutely nothing gets done. Scientists call this behavior debating. Locals just call it a waste of airtime. The diet of a South African politician is rich and plentiful. While citizens survive on pap and hope, politicians feast on 5-course meals, all funded by taxpayers. Truly, they are the apex predators of the catering world. During election season, the politician migrates from luxury cars to dusty rural towns. They arrive with promises bigger than potholes and vanish faster than electricity during load shedding. When threatened with corruption charges, the politician uses its best defense: denial. "I know nothing. It was the previous administration." These phrases confuse predators like journalists, buying them precious time. Like all species, politicians reproduce, not biologically, but politically. They appoint their cousins, friends, and sometimes even their pets into high-paying jobs. This ensures the species survives for generations. So, the South African politician, part entertainer, part survivor, fully taxpayer-funded, until the people of the land demand better. These creatures will continue to thrive in their kingdom of blue lights and broken promises. But hey, at least they make good content.
Well, hello. Welcome to Pepper's Echo. I hope you enjoyed that. I kind of have grown to enjoy those tunes. Um, excuse me. Funnily enough, I didn't get a copyright strike for that. So I figured I better give them good credit for it. So it's like Achy Tunes or something like that. But the link to the actual site that has all these tunes, and he has a whole lot of other tunes as well, is in the description below as well. So if you're wanting to see more of them tunes, go and take a look and maybe give them a like and subscribe as well if they pick up any more wet tunes for you there. So the tune that I had last week and this week is both there. So welcome to Pepper's Echo. My name's Andre, and it's absolutely awesome to see all you absolutely fantastic, phenomenal, wonderful, great people out there. Let me try and go through the uh, chat quickly. Anna Marie Nell, hello. Oh, Formula One. Thank you for reminding me. I'll go and try and jump on as soon as we've finished here as well. Dylan, how's it going? Dylan, always good, always good. Keeping very well. I hope you are keeping well too, my friend. Buzzy, thank you very much for all your patience after today as well with all my hassles. Uh, thank you so very, very much. Nick Miller, yeah, as it, what's it? Morlandy Hall, did you say? What? Not poop. But yeah, wonderful always to see you, Nick. Debbie Murray, always awesome to see you as well. I hope Colin is recovering much better. Hendo in capital letters, our favorite European South African or South African European. How's it going, my friend? Always good to see you, buddy. Did you have a good break? Have you had any breaks of late yet, as such? Uh, Hendo in our wifey, clean words from now on. Nick. Yeah, I suddenly saw Alison, our beautiful lady from the Bay. How are you? I bet you're doing the same as what I am doing, lesson planning and schooling. I'll tell you all about it now as soon as John Muslane, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you, John? Always good to see you, my friend. Good. Very nice to see you there. And I think that, and our beautiful lady in waiting, Fiona, how are you keeping? Please don't forget, down in the descriptions below, there is a link to White Zulu, is Fiona's site. Please go and click a like and a subscribe to a White Zulu, a beautiful story, absolutely read by the author, who's an absolutely beautiful person. Always lovely to have you. Yeah, welcome. So welcome everybody. Sunday night again. I still haven't got my lights right, and of course now I haven't. I usually blacken the background of my display, which I haven't done now. So it's got white background. So of course, um, I am of course shining like worse than Casper at the moment. I knew there was something I'd forgotten to do, but I've been so fairly pressed today. Saturdays I have class all day. Sunday Ina has class all day, so we end up pretty much missing each other over weekends, and I have to do my assignments and my classes. And what has happened is I got hold of a textbook. I eventually got a textbook for school, so I did a whole bunch of hours of planning, and the planning went into the first two chapters, only to find that the students said, no, we've done the first three chapters already. Now I was trying to figure out, have we done three chapters or four chapters, two chapters? And the one little girl said, why don't we just start from the back and move forward? So I figured, well, each chapter is a unit by itself, not a problem. So I spent the next couple of hours redoing all the presentations, the lessons, the handouts, everything to that effect. Great, ready to go now. And only to find a Chinese teacher chasing me down the other day going, wait, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm teaching. She said, no, but you can't teach that. I said, well, why? You can't teach backwards. I said, yes, I can. It's all single units. It's not a problem. No, but what am I going to teach? I said, well, what do you mean? So she's like, no, I'm the English teacher for Chinese English teacher. I teach this book. You can do the speaking parts. I said, the speaking parts are pretty boring. So I've had to there go and throw the book in the bin and actually start with a new syllabus again and actually try and find topics which I've tried to ask the kids for to restart a new lesson again. So, it has been not so good. And then, of course, I put in my flash drives to try and save onto them. And I don't know, my one flash drive, the lesson one, is corrupt from here to Cairo. I can't get anything saved onto it or off it. Thank goodness I created the lesson on the PC. So I need to find another flash drive for that. Then going on to trying to create a link, I find, the stream equipment or whatever hasn't been paid. So yeah, all of a sudden I'm falling around there. Buzzy is jumping up and down, waiting for the link, and I can't get into my streaming equipment. Eventually got that sorted out as well. So great. Logic and sense. Let me tell you about something about logic and sense. Somebody said something about logic there. Yeah, Debbie says yours makes sense. How frustrating you did lesson planning. Yeah, I did. I've just had to redo it all again. Little school kids walking around the schoolyard one day going, doesn't make sense, makes no logic, makes no sense, it's not logic, makes no sense, it's not logic. And the headmaster comes along and the guy says to him, son, what's the matter? He says, makes no sense, it's not logic. He says, what makes no sense? What's not logic? He says, sir, he says, I farted in class. He says, but it was a horrendous, terrible smelling fart. And for that, they kicked me out of the class and they stayed back in the class with a fart. Makes no sense, isn't logic. So, yeah. Yeah, what the heck? So, no, I'm having fun. I'm having fun. And as I said, it's bad to complain with a full mouth. And my mouth, as you can see by my face, is pretty full. So I can't complain about that at all either. So, getting back to things over here, something that's happened. Yes, Mr. Redford, Mr. Robert Redford, he passed away during this week. Always remember him for the original Born Identity. What was it? Some baseball game thing as well. I know many of them, you have many good memories of him from other movies and things to that effect. But I will always remember the original Born Identity was Robert Redford. So, yeah. No, Buzzy, you never nag. Don't worry about that at all. It's what I need you to do. Otherwise, I would probably never get around to it. Yeah, a good man. I didn't get to do much of his should I say his social things or anything like that. So I'm not too sure which side of the fence or media, because these days it's absolutely ridiculous at what these actors try and do. They try to be politicians these days, which are yeah. But I do believe that he was a good man. He's going to be sorely missed, especially in the movie industry. And I think my condolences and heartfelt thoughts and prayers out to his family and loved ones and friends as well. He was well known and a good man, and he had a long span. I think he was 84 or 85, if I'm not mistaken. And it is amazing. And that's what I want to look at this evening. And that's why I said, you know what, I want to take a look at our idols. And I'm not looking at the idols that aren't there anymore, because we always tend to oh, there we go. It sounds like something you eat, Debbie. But the legend, the great Gatsby, too fine an actor. I know what you're talking about. Don't worry, I'm kidding. It didn't come from Cape Town, but there we go. He did the great Gatsby. John says he was 89. Oh wow, 89. So that's even older. Thank you very much, John. So. Yes, but yeah, a legend is a legend. So I was looking at this and I thought to myself, you know, we have so many people that we've looked up to, been entertained by, have had emotional, life-changing times in our lives. We've had uppers, we've had downers, we've had an amazing roller coaster ride, and at a lot of the entertainment of the people, but we seem to recognize them as they are departing or have departed these days. So I thought, well, I'll take a look at people today and see where they are. You know, our heroes that don't shine so bright anymore, if I can put it to you that way, because they are still around. But before we do that, let's first give credit to where credit is due. Yep. Sadly, I didn't support them. I always used to support Sharks. But the Griquas from my hometown, Kimberley, has won the Curry Cup 27-25 yesterday. They beat the Golden Lions to take the Curry Cup championship. So well done to the Griquas. They played really hard previously as well. And yeah, that's what we have about in rugby at the moment, is the old Griquas. And then, of course, before I start with news and views and all those type of things, not to forget, down below are the links of the people that you can trust. Go and take a look at Chris Wyatt, Renaldo Gouws, Joe Emilio, Morningshot. These are all the guys that I actually take a look at. As somebody said the other day, I saw a little thing that said, you know what? Don't go believing everything I said. I never said based on a true story. These guys you can base on a true story. So let's take a look at what their story is.
If you have a problem, if no one else can help, then if you can find them.
Yep. Those are the guys you watch, and those are the guys who will actually give you the based on a true life story. So, yeah, give them a watch. Their links are in the descriptions below. Give them a subscribe. I'm sure you are all subscribed and watching them already as such. I do try and keep up with them as much as possible too. Oh, there we go. Oh, White Zulu, you have a new link. Okay, there we go. I will update that link as well. So I seem to have the old link. How did you get banned from YouTube that you need to get a new link? I mean, some steamy hot pot in your book or something? No, I'm kidding. I will take out the old one and put the new one in for you then. Thank you very, very much, Zulu. Just wondering how you get banned from YouTube and having to open up a new one, hey? Those saucy spots in the book aren't paying off as well as what you thought they did, hey? Anyway, let's take a look. Joburg's new mayor, or not new mayor, or candidate for the DA for mayor is none else than Godzilla herself. I must agree with Renaldo in this one. I don't think it is the best move by the DA. I think she might be bored. It says there another little piece that I think it was News 24. Poll shows that DA leading ANC in Johannesburg as Helen Zille enters mayoral race. Helen Zille fields for Johannesburg mayor as internal polls show the DA overtaking the ANC in Gauteng. Well, yeah, it's, you know what? Be careful for possibly biting off more of the pie than you can chew, because even though you might have control of Johannesburg, you are always going to have poison in the pot. So, yeah, I don't think it's as easy. If there's anyone that can do it, yeah, I'm sure she can do it. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know about their motives so much anymore. You know, that the more the DA sort of gets into power, the more their spine just drops out of their ass. So I'm left in two fields at the moment. Let me drop this. I'm left in two fields at the moment. Should you vote DA to actually remove the ANC, or should you not, and then risk the possibility of splitting up so badly that the ANC regain their actual power again? Because, as I've said before, South Africans just can't stick together. They can't come to a decision. What is going to happen? I mean, are the ANC again going to get by the string of their holy underpants because of split decisions? Or what? Yeah, Johannesburg needs a miracle, I can tell you. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, Renaldo did a whole thing on the mayoral thing there. And as he says, it's not that he doesn't think she can't do it. I think she can do it, but I do believe that there are other people who are just as good, who would be able to do a good job, who actually deserve to be in that position, could be given that position. It is going to be a mammoth task because I don't want to say it's not Cape Town, but your mentality in Johannesburg is totally different as well. Nothing against anyone who lives in Johannesburg, by the way. But yeah. Yeah, Johannesburg needs a miracle. Sorry, I was just reading the clips on the side there. But it seems that the ANC has given the DA a boost.
Those municipalities that do best are not ANC-controlled municipalities. And I can name it here because there's nothing wrong with competition. They are often DA-controlled municipalities. We need to ask ourselves, what is it that they are doing that is better than what we are doing? And there's nothing wrong with us saying we want to go and see what Cape Town is doing. We want to go and see what Stellenbosch is doing. How do they craft everything? We need to be moving up the ladder of being good at what we do. We cannot forever stay at the bottom. It hurts me deeply when I continue to see that our municipalities sometimes tend to move even backwards.
Oh, well, that seems to be it. But yeah, he seems to be not so popular. If we take a look, Mandi Makayana, DA praises Ramaphosa must stand his ground and face down his party now, because Ramaphosa's recurring candor about ANC failings when he branded the party accused number one on corruption during COVID-19, and now praising the DA's municipalities. And this guy, Mondi Makanya, his opinion is Ramaphosa's recurring candor about ANC failings first when he brands the party accused number one on corruption during COVID-19, and now praising the DA's municipal performance and urging ANC officials to learn from it. Keeps backfiring politically. So yeah, there's another one. Opinion, why the DA, and this is another opinion part from Mervyn Charles on News 24, saying why DA municipalities outperform the ANC, a tale of two Western Cape parties. And the ANC's declining support in the Western Cape is not accidental. It's the product of inaccessibility, arrogance, and growing disconnect between ANC representatives and the community they claim to serve. And he goes on basically to explain that he phoned in to actually get assistance, and apparently he got through to his DA representative, who was able to assist and got the problem sorted, or was attending to the problem, but he's still waiting for someone to answer the phone on the ANC side. I think the ANC is trying to actually figure out that it's their phone ringing. So yeah. He wants to steal from them, yeah. It's the only thing the ANC knows, how to steal from somebody else. It's absolutely ridiculous. It is. It's a pot of pure snot. But anyway, and as I said, the DA unfortunately has proved very unreliable to me as of late. They changed their color like a chameleon does. So wherever they're sitting, they will blend into. They don't seem to be standing their ground or acting in the interest of people. They are acting in the interest of their pockets these days. And I do believe that they are probably changing color to ANC more than what they're changing color to the people that are needing them. And the people that are needing them are not only what I'm referring to as white people, I'm referring to their country. 90% of black people are needing their help. They're needing to get rid of anti-racist laws. They're needing to get rid of BEE. They are needing job opportunities. They are needing privatization. They are needing the markets opened. They are needing to be able to be employed. They are needing to be able to get their commodity pricing down. And this is not happening while we're supporting corruption. Farm murders need to be recognized. They are needing to recognize that people are being oppressed, including black people, which are the people that they are keeping poor and uneducated for their own basic selfish needs. So yeah, they are not doing anything. What they are doing, however, is they are opening the Apartheid Museum is going to unveil an exhibition on the TRC Injustice on Heritage Day. Lekker braai, julle. Breaking news special reports the exhibition highlights the ongoing struggle for justice and reparations since the TRC concluded. The Apartheid Museum in Johannesburg is set to unveil a new exhibition titled Grave Injustice, the Unfinished Business of the TRC. These people are just amazing me at how stupid they are. I mean, first of all, you know, the TRC did more than what they needed to. It has come to an end. Get over it now and move on. But they cannot move on because they have nothing else to ride except this dead horse which they are flogging. And now to open that as well. So why don't you scratch open some wounds? And it's basically in their play because all they are trying to do is swing votes for themselves now at the moment. And the only way you can swing votes is to once again play the race card, claim the victim, and be an arsehole. Because unfortunately, trying to actually do something about it for someone is not helping. So all you can do now is victimize yourself and your people and actually make them even poorer. They are needing to not pay the cancers, as is where the rot start. Yeah, this is the whole thing. But they're stealing. It's not even as if they're being paid. They're stealing. They're stealing. Buzzy, please don't talk about snow. No, I will not do so. I will not do so. Okay. Mucus. Yeah, so I don't know. You know, for me, yeah, I'm not going to be the one to be the influencer. Although, as I said last week, you need to be committed and you need to make a decision. And for me, the only people that are actually got their heads a little bit screwed on right and probably have a little bit of just for us is the Freedom Front Plus. They actually had the kahunas to actually get up and go overseas as well to speak with Trump and say, hey, what's the problem? What do we need to do to get this sorted out? They went there, they got the answer, they came back, and all South Africa could do was deal out insults. That is all. It is just ridiculous. I'm just looking at what Debbie sent through now. Sorry, I didn't even have that open, but it was quite cool. Did you know 1 out of every 3 ANC politicians are just as corrupt as the other 2? Good one. Good one. The other one say, AfriForum has warned that the Transport Department could see similar non-compliance surrounding driving license to be observed with the e-tolls and TV license in South Africa. In a statement, campaign officer Louis Boshoff said the government cannot continue to make driving license renewals mandatory if it makes it difficult to comply with the obligation. Highlighted that by August 2025, 3 months after the South Africa's driving license printer returned to service, again for the second time after it was broken for how long? following its most recent breakdown, the license production backlog was still over 500,000. This comes after the printer broke down in early 2025 and only returned to service on 8 May. At its peak, the backlog reached nearly 750,000. Well, that makes me feel so much better that I got my driver's license done. Thank you, Debbie and Colin, on in February, because I think I must have been one of the few that got it done just before the wonderful breakdown. But yeah, what can we do? But as I said, the Freedom Front Plus are the only ones that actually seem to be swimming a little upstream and still holding their breath to get somewhere. The only problem that I do foresee is how many South Africans are going to see the same and how many are going to filter off into smaller streams and each one decide to have their own little shattered snack and therefore shatter the whole, should I say, togetherness of South Africans as such, which may create a influx into the ANC again, because not that there's not enough voters, but that the voters are once again too divided. So I do hope that we are going to at least see a little bit of standing together and hopefully wipe them out. I'm very interested to see what happens in the municipal elections, and I do believe that the DA might obtain a few more municipalities as such. They only have good track records at good places in the Western Cape. Some of the worst places are run by the ANC because they have been voted in by the poor and uneducated, which is calculated and engineered by the ANC themselves. And that is why they can get their sticky, greasy, grubby, fat little fingers into everybody's pies. So it's going to be a different tune when you've actually got to run the whole thing. I know there's been the big thing about housing in the Western Cape, and where housing has become a huge thing for millionaires and rich people, but there's no housing coming up for the poor and people who are, well, I know they're shouting RDP housing, but that they're still, but anyway, even when they do get it, then they're complaining that they're too small. So you know what, it doesn't help to put a roof over a man's head and then he wants more. Also, I was watching the Truth Report with Rob Hershoff the other day about the fact that South Africa is just uninvestable. And he was talking about different investments that you can make. In the end, he was saying you can invest in gold, you can invest in Bitcoin. If you take a look carefully, invest in tourism. There was one other one, I can't remember what he said, but then the one he said is you can invest in Western Cape property, because the Western Cape property is running pretty well and will still carry you, and these investments will keep your money out of the ANC's hands. So I thought, oh well, you know what, we're going to start buying little gold bars or something like that, or somehow get my money into gold. Crypto, I don't know. Bitcoin, he did say, but I am very skeptical of Bitcoin because I just, you know what, I probably am just old-fashioned and don't know the crypto market as well as what I should be. Debbie says, so sad we feel like being held at ransom with all the inefficiency. Definitely needed change. Yes, it does. And so, you know what, if it comes at the change of Helen Ziller, great. It's just that I don't know. You know what, they're riding a wave at the moment, and their heads get really big. Land grabs going on in the Eastern Cape. Yeah, Eastern Cape is not having a fun time either. Dylan says, and in Ekurhuleni. There we go. Let me move on to the main part of this evening, and that is what's happened to the guys that our heroes. And I have it in the link, the data that I got here, and I have cut them because it does get pretty long and it's got a whole lot of people, some that I don't even know, quite a few that I don't even know, but I have cut the video to try and make it a little bit shorter, although it is quite long, as you will see as well. I've also taken the sound out. If you actually go to the people down in the description downstairs, it's called Celebrity Death Data, and it has all kinds of different datas on celebrity. I don't think it's facetious as far as I can see. These are the current celebrities that are still alive, our old idols and singers and things. And I've taken the speaking away because otherwise I'm just going to be speaking against them. And I actually want to have a chat with you in your memory lane and see what you think and what you remember of them. So I'll be sort of stopping it as we go along. But these are rock stars and actors. Well, this is just singers at the moment who are still alive. And this is why I said we can actually look at them and go, yeah, they were good people, or no, they weren't good people, or I like them, I don't like them. But they are still alive, and we should probably do the recognitions while they're still alive. And if you do want to say he's a crap person, rather say it while he's still alive and not when he has passed away. But let's go. Remember Elton John? Oh, good old Elton John. Goodbye, English Rose. And then it was Norma Jean. He's had quite a lot of things. Born 1947, Elton John. March 25, 1947. He's currently recovering from post-hip surgery, prostate cancer recovery. And that's what the old chap looks like now. I think he's had a couple of tucks and trips here and there. But I think his little fingers, little Russians, not Viennas, are still tickling those keys. And he's probably still one of the greatest pianists, or pop pianists that's ever been around. And he does well. Celine Dion and Andrea Bocelli, I don't have. But yeah, Celine Dion's got really, really old. She's also faced a bit of a backlash in a controversy on an advertisement that she's made, and something that she's supporting where she walks into a maternity ward and these kids and that, and the next thing she blows this glitter over them and they all turn from XY to a Z or something to that effect. And then there's this little monsters in the crib or something. So I'm not too sure. Everyone will remember him for the song and tribute to Candle. Yes, no, he will always be remembered for Princess Diana. I think he was pretty close friends with Princess Diana as such as well. But Elton John, I don't know if he's got 2 kids now. I think they adopted kids. And then, of course, who can forget Mr. McCartney, born 1942, Paul McCartney, the Beatles. The Beatles. June, and so far he's in good health. Let's see what he looks like now. Yep, 83 years old. I always remember him for We All Stand Together. I think he's got pretty woke views as well still, but yeah, I'm going to say you cannot argue with his music. Oh, Ekurhuleni. Sorry, I'm just looking now. Where is Ekurhuleni? Yeah, it's sort of like Johannesburg metropolitan. There, yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Thank goodness Debbie was there to answer that question. And then, remember this guy? You guys all remember him? He is still not satisfied. He is still not satisfied because he's never been able to get satisfaction. Mick Jagger, born 1943. What is happening to our big guys? I mean, I remember wanting to go and see the Rolling Stones, and I had tickets to go and see the Rolling Stones, and except the person that I was with then just didn't want to, and I ended up having to give away my Rolling Stones ticket. I cannot believe it. But yeah, nothing to look at but good sing. Lips Incorporated, that was him, Mr. Lips. Let's see what he looks like now. Yep, Mr. Lips. He's recovered after heart valve replacement surgery, and he's still going on. It's amazing, these guys. They did, and this guy, who knows this guy? Mr. Richards, can he do it? This guy is like a Suzuki that can't go on. But it just keeps on going. It keeps on going. It's like a Suzuki. You can punish a Suzuki. I always rode Honda, but a Suzuki, you could, mind you, my last bike was a Suzuki, but I just know you could punish them and they went on. And it's just amazing at the rough life that these guys have had. And I'm not saying bad life, I'm just saying rough. He's 81 years old, long-term effects from smoking and substance abuse. but he's still got the ears for it and he's going on. Keith Richards. How many of us don't know him? Oh, geez, did I start this thing over by accident? Sorry. Sorry. Let me just try and get it back up front again. I'm trying to get it to be able to pause it. Oh, geez. Everything is not going my way today. So I thought maybe if I hit the space bar, I'll pause it. No, apparently the space bar puts it to the next lot. But yeah, I'll Keith Richards. Who says drugs don't enhance your life? And this guy, Roger Waters, The Wall, Pink Floyd, The Final Cut. Mother, do you think they'll drop the bomb? Very, very, very talented young man. Or can we say old man, because he's not young anymore. Born 1943, is in good health and he's 82 years old. Roger Waters. Let me get myself to the other side. There we go. Boom. Still looks damn good for 82. I'm not looking at guys, but I just think Roger Waters actually really. Cliff Richard, we've got ABBA. ABBA I don't have. ABBA didn't want to do their live performance the last time. I don't know if they pulled it off in the end, but they were going to do it with those virtual perspectives or something to that effect. Virtual projections of themselves. They were going to do a live show with, but I don't know if they actually did it in the end. They were going to do some kind of comeback thing. Not a comeback, was like sort of more of a reunion type thing. This thing is moving, huh? I'm sure it is. Yes, should be. Yeah, that's why I said it actually goes quite long, because the guy does tell you a little bit about him, where he is, what he's doing now. He still does some things. And we all know this gentleman. One of my favorites. I really enjoy him. I don't know much about his social, political views at the moment, but I do know that he's probably one of the best poets of our time. Loved his music. Isn't that song too, Frank Sinatra, My Way? I did it my way. I was actually watching a movie the other day called Going My Way. And not Frank Sinatra. It was not Bing Crosby, but anyway, one of those guys was in it. And I used to love it as a kid. It was called Going My Way, about a priest who went to help out at a parish. Bob Dylan, 1941. Is a bit of hearing loss. I think it's only in one ear, and then vision problems. I'm not too sure. I think it's left ear, whatever. He's got a bit of hearing problems. On 84 years old, and he still makes appearances as well. I would go and see Bob Dylan again, because he didn't do a show. Who's that? Who's that? Remember this happy young man? He just used to smile and beat on his drum. Ringo Starr, born 1940. George Harrison, Paul McCartney, they've been out. He has joint pain from rheumatoid arthritis, 84 years old, but he is not looking bad for an 84-year-old Beatle. I'd say he's pretty good for an 84-year-old Beatle. This guy has actually got quite ill and quite bad, and he could actually do a show. I would say, remember Freddie Mercury, he was the king of live shows. He could do a show, but if you actually wanted to see another person who could do an absolute, honest, wonderful performance, this guy could do an absolute awesome performance. Phil Collins, born 1951, so he's actually one of the younger lots over there. Yeah, still had hair, nice long hair. Severe spinal injury and long-term nerve damage, which means he can't stand. I actually watched him on a concert the other day, and he had to sort of like sit behind. That's what he looks like now. He looks 80-something years old, I must say. He really looks old, and when he moves, he can hardly move at all. Then we've got Eric Clapton, Axeman. He has peripheral neuropathy and chronic back pain, but he still does appearances in that as well. I don't know. He lost his chin along the way, but at least I don't know if he's gone for plastic surgery or not. I was about to say at least he didn't go the plastic way and he kept himself going. And then, of course, Roddy, our good man Rod. Yeah, Eric lost his son. That was very good. They all got more hair than Colin. DB. And there's old Rod these days as well. Always got that like little moosey on the side. I was thinking about all that money and you couldn't have that removed, but I suppose the trademark. 80 years old that he is now. 80 years old. And this guy, I don't know if you remember. I remembered him because I was into like a bit of punk and sort of alternative. Iggy Pop, 78 years old. And he is still making appearances. He's got scoliosis as well, but apart from that, yeah, I think he should keep the T-shirt on, Iggy. But yeah, you know what? Either that or iron the shirt you've got on. One of the two, because it's not good. But he's been through a lot of ba. Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks, 1948. Yeah. 77 years old. She's got asthma and chronic fatigue. That's what she looks like these days. I mean, remember Lies, Sweet Little Lies. No, that was no, that was Fleetwood Mac. I nearly thought Eurythmics. Alice Cooper, 1948. He's actually turned out to be quite a Christian guy, if I'm not mistaken, at the moment, but he still does his own shows, former alcoholic and substance addiction. And yeah, who says drugs don't pull you through? This is what he looks. He still looks really good for 77, I must say. And as I say, these guys, I'm not saying they've had a bad life. I'm just saying the amount of substance abuse and partying and that. And this guy, the brothers Billy Gibbons, 1949. Remember ZZ Top? That's him. He's in good health, 75 years old. That's what he looked like when he started out, but he's more famous for what he looks like now. Yes, although it's a little bit shorter, they used to have it longer as well. But yeah, and he is still knocking around as an Axeman. Neil Young, not so young anymore. But these are the guys, can you believe that they are sitting 70s and 80s? Epilepsy, post-polio effects. But these are the guys that we used to bop to. Well, Neil Young looks a little bit weightier as well, but who am I to speak? So, yeah, enjoy. Looks almost like he's doing country and western these days. Carlos Santana, another Axeman as well. In the good days. Suffers from heat stroke and dehydration. Well, maybe you should just drink water, son. This is what he looks like these days. Also not bad looking for 78, I must say. Once again, I don't know how many of these guys have actually had anything done to them because that's so easily. Remember old Paul Simon, Simon and Garfunkel, 1941. Old Paul Simon, there we go. He's had successful back surgery, severe hearing loss in his left ear. But he is 83 years old and he looks like Rose from the Golden Girls. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. And then he's always looked like that. Art Garfunkel from Simon & Garfunkel. If you guys remember Cecilia. I don't know. He looks like somebody from Penn and Teller at the moment. You know, Penn and Teller, the two magicians. He overcame psoriasis and returned to performing again. And then, of course, one of my favorite guys, I don't know how many people know, Ian Anderson, better known as Jethro Tull. He was diagnosed with COPD. Currently, it's under control. But yeah, I used to love Jethro Tull. And that's what he looks like. Suddenly, they normalize, you know, from these hippies to normal all of a sudden, you know. Also, the loss of fluff on top has probably created a little bit of normal. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Yeah. Debbie Harry. Oh, she was such a smacker. Reduced mobility due to aging and neck injury currently. Still does some singing sometimes. But yeah, and she has definitely used the plastic on plastic because when you've got a grin to actually get some kind of look on your face and you haven't got a line on your forehead at 80, definitely. Somebody was asking about old Cliffy Richard. We're all going on a summer holiday. He's at 84 now with muscle weakness due to aging and hip surgery, but Cliffy is still around. Imagine that. Aerosmith. How many of you guys like Aerosmith? How many of you like Aerosmith? Steve Tyler of Aerosmith. He's got vocal cord injuries in 2023. He still occasionally performs. That this man is actually pulling through at 77. This is what he looks like. Definitely spent plastic on plastic. I can definitely see that. Even though he does have some lines across the old forehead there, but for the amount of substance abuse he's been through, yeah. Van Morrison, always loved Van Morrison. Didn't know he could actually look young, because I've only known Van Morrison to sort of look more mature. But yeah, that's what he looked like young. He's 80 years old now, and he carries on performing and releasing albums. I think he's got a bit of a possibly, and I stand corrected, woke point of view. So I'm not very, very into his social abilities, but musically, yes. And I think running finally, one of the finest guitars of the century, Brian May. He still tours globally with Queen and Adam Lambert. He is 78 years old. It just doesn't comprehend for me. These were my idols. Cliff's had a lot of work done to enhance his looks. Yeah, yes. Yes, absolutely, definitely. Yo, bro, how's it going? You just missed all the rock stars. You just missed the rock stars, but you can be in time. Good to see you. Good to see you on. It's my brother, people. Let's take a look at the guys from George Lazenby. He did James Bond on His Majesty's Secret Service. He's an Australian guy, and I don't know him for anything else, but apparently he did do some acting, and this is what he looks like now. I don't think he would make it in for James Bond anymore. 85 years old, born in 1939. Better late than never. Yo, bro. Good stuff. Welcome to the club. We're busy going through a little bit of past. Remember John Cleese? Manuel! He's very, very well known, most well known for Faulty Towers. He was born in 1939. He's 85 years old in 2025. Well, he will be in October. And yeah, that's what he looks like now. He's still quite, I actually like him. He's got a good point of view as well. And yes, can you believe it? 85 years old, Mr. Faulty. Who's that? Who's that? The Godfather, Al Pacino. He is 85 years old this year. He seems to have done the reverse to what Rockstar's done, gone from the clean-cut guy to the hairy retro dude at the moment. But yeah, I'm not too fond of his viewpoints either, but none can be denied that he's probably one of the greatest actors of our time as well. I don't have Ozzy, he's died. These guys are all alive still. John Voight, Midnight Cowboy, December 29, 1938. He's 86 years old. Now, I know there's different movies that you remember him from. I remember him from Ray Donovan. That's where I've got the most memories from him at the moment, was Ray Donovan. Ozzy will do a Hall of Fame one day when people. Right now, we want to take a look at being able to talk about. Remember this guy. Who's this guy? Terence Hill. Terence Hill. I used to love Bud Spencer and Terence Hill movies. But can you believe that Terence Hill is 86 years old? 86 years old. These people are the grandpas and grandmas of this century, of this day. They all used to be our heroes. I don't have him on here, but I don't know. Sylvester Stallone, I think he's in his 70s. Something that's great is, let's just take a look. Yeah, this is Die Man van Staal. Remember the $6 million man? The $6 million man is now 86 years old this year and still going. You can see that it was the left eye that was the eye that could see far, because you can see it's a little bit wider than the right eye. That was the bionic eye, was the left one. But yeah, by the way, Paramount started. I'm going to check it out and see when they log it again. But Tulsa King is back with season 3. Christopher Lloyd, best known for Back to the Future. Doc in Back to the Future. Christopher Lloyd is still knocking on at 86 years old. These, as I said, the biggest thing is our heroes. How's that? Dustin Hoffman, best known for Rain Man. And if any of you are reaching my age, you'll remember a movie called Tootsie, Before Mrs. Doubtfire, there was Dustin Hoffman and Tootsie. So if any of you remember Tootsie, yeah. Yeah, Hendo, yes, next season, Tulsa King, and it seems like it's going to go for a fourth season as well. Actually, I watched an interview with Sylvester Stallone the other day. Anthony Hopkins. Hello, Clarice. 87 years old this year. And still going. I cannot believe, you know what? These are the people that we're sort of afraid or watching the news for. Are they here today and not tomorrow? Like, we've just been through actors. We've been through a George Takei, Star Trek. Oh, Captain. No, that's Scotty. Beam him up. Beam me up, Scotty. Yeah, Celeste. Yeah, he was on Fox, Hendo. Yeah, I watched that interview. And that's George Takei now. I watched the interview with Sylvester Stallone on Fox as well, and he's up and about for it. Mrs. Robinson. That was Dustin Hoffman, Fiona. Yeah. And Warren Beatty, Bonnie and Clyde. I'm trying to figure out Warren Beatty. I know him as a good actor, but I really can't. The Champ, was it? Oh, no, he wasn't in The Champ. I don't think he did any good movies that I know. But he's 88. Left him there for those of you who know him. And this guy, Morgan Freeman, 88, Shawshank Redemption, well known for. I watched a movie the other day called Highest to Lowest. Oh, it had Denzel Washington in, but it was so woke. Morgan Freeman. I wouldn't be watching Highest to Lowest easily again. I just watched it to get to the end of it, but really did not enjoy it at all. Yeah, Fiona, Dustin Hoffman. There we go. So it was Mrs. Robinson, yes. Then, of course, probably one of the worst guys to work with, I think, is Jack Nicholson. I really don't have any wish to meet him, but he's a brilliant actor. I remember one of my first movies that I actually watched, the horror movies that I watched, was The Shining. He's 88, and he still hasn't changed his hairstyle in 88 years. He was born like that, and that's how it stayed. And of course, the world's oldest pedophile or incest. I don't know if he's going to now marry his grandmother or something like that, but Woody Allen, there he is. Apparently known for Annie Hall. I didn't know Annie Hall at all. I just cannot stand his movies at all. I'm sorry. He just, you know what, even his humor is just like, bleh. Really, it's, I don't know how that man hit fame. Oh, and the babes of today are the grannies of babes of yesterday are the grannies of today. Julie Andrews, 89 years old. Remember when she was running around in a nun costume shouting, "The heels are alive." She's 89 years old and she's still jumping up and down on the stage and things to that effect. Very, very good of her to do so. Fond memories, Sound of Music, one of the popular stage shows that I used to ask. Dame Judi Dench, James Bond series, M, I think it was. I think she was M, not sure. But yeah, I did see her in, no, it wasn't the Thursday Murder Club, was it? But I have seen her in a movie of late as well. Thursday Murder Club was a really good movie if you haven't seen it yet. And then this woman's aged. She's 90. Sophia Loren used to be a beautiful woman. Now, she looks like Nkosazana Zuma. She has really, I don't know. You know what? When I look at her forehead, I think maybe she had something done to her, but I don't think anything successfully came out because it's very scary. And then Michael Caine. Everyone remember Michael Caine? The Italian Job. And then there was that other one where he fell in love with his friend's daughter. I remember that. That was like such a forbidden movie to watch. 92 years old, Michael Caine. Great grannies. Yeah, grab a granny. Here's one of the older guys. William Shatner. Star Trek, 94 years old. Did you ever think that that man could be 94 years old? And he's still going strong. Still going strong. 94. And I do believe that that would be the end of them. Okay. Just to finish off a little bit, I watched 2 series this week. One is on Amazon, is Butterfly. Really, really good. Very fast paced. I think it's only 6 seasons. Well, both of these are only 6 episodes long. Butterfly, really, really good. A guy who goes back in after being basically off the grid and not working for a like an assassin company type of thing for a while. He goes in to fetch his daughter, and I will leave the story to there. But really good. What I liked about it is they didn't waste very much time. They kept it moving, and it was very intriguing. Good action, good pace. Liked the story. At least it ended, but it did leave a big open gap for another series to come. So there's only another season to come. There's only 1 season of it, and definitely it's left a big scar for a second season to come as well. Very worth it, and I really, really enjoyed it. The other one, very, very good, and it came highly rated. It's also marked at a 10. It is on Netflix, so if you have got Netflix, give it a go. It's called Hostage. It's about the American president, prime minister, and the French president. Her husband, the American, not the American, the British president, prime minister, and the French president, and the British prime minister's husband does get taken hostage, but it puts them into an insane situation, which actually just tumbles down. Also very, very gripping. You are going to find it very, very hard to switch off at the end of an episode. We watched it over a period of 2 or 3 days. It's only 6 episodes long, has a very, very good. White Zulu Butterfly is not really gory. No, it's not. It does have your normal action, and yeah, there's someone who gets cut, and you'll see the throat gets cut and things like that, but it's not like you've got blood and guts all over the place type of thing. But yeah, it does have some, yeah. The Black Rabbit with Jude Law. Okay, I did see the trailer for that after Butterfly's last one, so I'll actually give that a watch as well. Thanks, Hendo. And I think Black Rabbit is on Netflix as well. You know, I couldn't give your age away. Nobody wants it, Peter. It's that old. That's why you're up there with them actors. No, you aren't. You're at least younger than those actors. Butterfly's not, as I said, it's got action, and it's got, you know, if you're not prone to wanting to see anyone's throat cut, yeah, you do get to see that, and you know, your normal action things and stuff to that effect, etc., etc. But yeah, this is just a quick one. Homeschooling in South Africa. So it's take your kids to work day today, and so then you show your kid what to do, and your kid successfully decides to play with the umbrella. While you keep your other 2 kiddies busy, your older kid gets to do the practical activity. And that's why we have long arms, just to check the density, and whoopie-da-day, check the temperature of the water. Mom is really, really happy, and you should have a good score for that lesson. Thank you very, very much indeed. Let's take a look. Black Rabbit, Debbie says, 2 good series on Netflix, Under a Dark Sky and There Are Murders. I'm sure you have left out something there. There Are Murders? Or is it real? Nah, Fiona, you're too beautiful to get stuck into them old stars. The series Wednesday, yeah, I have started watching it. I don't know. I'm a little bit over the sequel thing too much on it because it's really pushed hard. But looks interesting, so I'm watching it. But I wanting to start some more. So I think I'm going to be looking at the Black Rabbit next. Definitely will be looking at the Black Rabbit. But give Butterfly, if you can get anything from a Paramount on there, but definitely Hostage on Netflix is definitely working on it. Sometimes, what's something that you are too old to do? I'll tell you what I'm old to do. Give a shit. As Debbie say, it's a Canadian word, R, the R murders. I are not aware of it, sorry. Anyway, it is time for me to sign off. I have been boring you enough as well from here on to Cairo. I hope you've enjoyed a little bit of a walk down the lane and actually celebrating people that are alive for a change, because the only time we seem to bring them onto the show or actually sit and reminisce about them is the times when they are alive. And being alive isn't really always a good time. Being dead isn't always the best time to reminisce and remember people. I really think we should actually take a look and celebrate them, especially since they were the stars that put in the work and the effort that when we were young, we used to enjoy them. However, I'd like to leave you with a thought for the week. What's Peter said? They're going to have to bride tonight with that stolen handbag. I hope there's enough money because meat's very expensive in South Africa these days. Yeah, of course you're younger than the bunch. You look far younger than the bunch as well. Debbie says Konica Selika is also amazing for her age at 70. Acting in PSI, I love you. Okay, no, great stuff. As I say, hopefully I haven't bored you too much. I thought we'd just take a look at who was alive these days and actually being able to say, wow, those were my stars. There was somebody that I missed out on the actors. I maybe cut it a little bit soon, was Clint Eastwood. I think he's 90 or 92. I'm not too sure, somewhere around there. Absolutely amazing chap as well. I remember Unforgiven. I remember The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, God Forgives, I Don't, Fistful of Dollars for a Few Dollars More, Two Mules for Sister Sarah. Yeah, no, Dirty Harry, Tightrope. Yeah, all of those things were absolutely amazing. But as I said, it's always good to remember people and maybe celebrate them while they are still alive, even if they seem to be, not that we say they are, but they seem to be towards the latter part of their lives and maybe not acting anymore, maybe not doing the entertainment that we wanted to, but at least we can appreciate it. Hopefully we can carry that over to each other and to realize that, you know what, we might not be as rich or as famous as what anybody else would like to be friends with, but we can always celebrate each other for just being the awesome people that you usually are. And just being on this program is an absolute privilege and an honor for myself to actually have you hanging around, and it is absolutely stunning. Thank you so very, very much for always being here, for always being supportive. With this thought, instead of focusing so much on to-do list, I'm starting a to-be list. Things I want to be: happy, calm, loving, healthy, and awesome. You guys are all awesome. Thank you so very, very much for always being as awesome as what you are. Take care of yourself, celebrate each other while you're still alive, enjoy every single minute. And if you're getting older, it's a privilege that is granted not to everyone. Enjoy it, appreciate it. I appreciate you. Take care, be good. If you can't be good, at least be kind. Cheers.